Good morning, yogis. Let's begin standing in Tadasana. So come to your mountain pose. It can just be any place in your mat, maybe the center of your mat. So this week we've been exploring balance and talking about the components of balance in our bodily systems, from the inner ear vestibular system to proprioception, our body in space, and our visual system, like just having the visual focus on a drishti, and all of those three components into the balance. So the other thing that I think is really important, which I talk about in just a regular practice, the idea of transitioning, of moving in balance. So our motor fitness really comes into play too, from our sense of our agility and coordination, our strength, the power that we might have, and even speed, like for quick reflexes. So we're going to challenge and strengthen that muscle today in several flows. And as we transition from one pose to the next, we'll strengthen that agility, that coordination. And I think the transitions, this idea of functional movement, will help us in daily life. So that's the goal for today's practice. So our sequence will consist of, say, about 4 mini flows. All right, so starting in our Tadasana. And really, feet are hips distance apart, just maybe right under your hips, or you can bring them together. And find a good, contact with the earth, your big toe mounds, your pinky toe mounds, heels, spreading your toes wide. And really notice too that the contact that your feet have with the earth, even your toes in particular, that'll help to activate the legs, give you a nice firm foundation, a lot of strength in the body. Hard to do maybe in life because our feet are in shoes, so good reason to have shoes that are comfortable for your feet, have a kind of a wider toe bed for your toes. So I know, not always the most fashionable, but something to think about. All right, so we're in our Tadasana. We found our neutral pelvis, belly's engaged, shoulders up, back, and down. Fingers reach down towards the earth as the crown of our head extends to the sky. Inhale here, arms out to the side. We're going to go into a side bend. You can have your arms, parallel, or the right hand can take the left wrist as that left foot steps back and to the right. And then take a deep bow to the right side. So we're in this deep side lunge to get your side stretch. All right, here we go. Yep, good. And then come back up to center, step that left foot to meet the right, and then twist to the right. Good. And then you can just lower your arms to Tadasana. So let's do that sequence on the other side. And I'm going to try with these mini flows to do each one, I don't know, maybe 6 times is too many, but the idea was 6. So maybe between 4 and 6, depending on the sequence. And I'll try to be a little attentive to time. So let's do that again, and I'll continue talking. So we're inhaling into the extension, or into our Tadasana. And then we're going to take, with our left hand, take hold of that right wrist, take that right leg and fold it to the left and back, and bow to your left side. So you're in this twisted lunge, but getting a deep stretch on the right side. So as we do these flows, we're going to stay, at least for the first 1 or 2 times, for 5 breaths in each posture. So we can get our neuromuscular system kind of attuned to what we want it to do, learn the postures so that we can focus on alignment here, because we talked about alignment as being crucial for all of the other components in our balance. For proper balance, to align the body and to cultivate strength, muscular strength, Good. And then come back up into the mountain posture and twist to the left, arms out to the sides. Inhaling and exhaling. Beautiful. And breathe, reaching across the chest. And then derotate, lower your arms. Tadasana. Inhale. Right hand takes hold of left wrist, left leg steps back. Side lunge. And breathe here. So at any point, if you want to incorporate any of the drills that we did earlier this week, such as closing your eyes, shifting your drishti, having a fixed drishti and just moving your head, all of those things work. But today's focus is going to be mostly sort of, might say on agility and coordination, moving in balance as a way to cultivate functional movement, strength, power, coordination, all that good stuff. Step forward into our Tadasana, twist to the right. And this way we'll develop our reflexes so that in life, when we're moving about, as I always said, we don't fall generally from just standing, because we're focused, or maybe properly aligned. It's when we're moving, and then lower your arms, that we might take a spill. So this little sequence is intended to build that capacity for catching ourselves. One more time, in the long version, left hand takes hold of right wrist, right leg steps back, fold to the right. Breathe here, 5 breaths. Whatever drishti that feels comfortable for you, maybe even thinking about, in addition to a focal point, about movement of the neck. That's also something that also happens in the asana. Good. Come back up to that extended mountain, twist to the left. And then lower our arms. All right, here we go. Now we're going to move it with breath. Do that whole sequence with breath. And what I mean by breath is 1/2 of a breath cycle. You can do a full breath cycle if that's better. If you need to actually do a breath cycle in each posture, then feel free. But the idea would be, we'll just go for it. Let's just try once. Let's try once a full breath cycle. Then the second time each side, we can do, inhale one move, exhale the next. Inhale the next move, or inhale the next move, exhale the next. So here we go. So inhale, our arms out to the sides, up to the sky. Exhale completely. Inhale as right hand takes left wrist and steps back, and we fold over. Keep continuing that inhale. Exhale completely. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, release your hands. Inhale, start to rotate to your right, extending your arms. Exhale completely. Inhale, back to center. Inhale, arms up to the sky. Exhale completely. Inhale, left hand takes right wrist, and we step back. Finish that inhale, filling up your right lung. Exhale it out. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale completely, releasing your arms. Inhale, twist to the left. Really wring out the belly. Fill up the upper lungs. Exhale it out. Inhale, back to center, and lower our arms here, exhaling completely. Inhale, exhale to the right. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, twist right. Inhale, lower arms. Exhale, extend arms. Inhale, step over left. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, twist left. Inhale, back to center. One more time. Inhale it up. Exhale, fold to your right. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, twist to your right. Inhale, derotate. Lower your arms. Exhale, fold to your left. Inhale, come on back to center. Exhale, twist left. Inhale, derotate, lower your arms. Good job. All right, next little flow. So we'll do, let's see, what is it? Mountain, chair, and tree. So first go round or two, we'll do 5 breath cycles, then we'll move with breath like we just did. So feet together or hips distance, really connect the feet as your stable foundation. Feel how that gives strength to the rest of the body. Here we are in our Tadasana, Samastitihi. Squat down into your Utkatasana, shifting weight back to, your hips back, weight to heels. Make sure you can see your toes. Belly toned, a neutral, comfortable pelvis, arms in shoulder sockets. So again, getting our musculoskeletal system prepared for this posture. So one more breath. Inhale, exhale, rise up. You can bring your hands to your hips or on to into prayer, and then find your tree. Even if you grab the foot. Now, this is why I said we're probably not going to have time to set up with blocks, but if you want to have a wall or a chair near you as we go into these poses, when we start to move with breath, it could be a little wobbly, and you might want to have something to reach out to. And then practice this, the strength here. Draw that left hip in, left leg to right foot, belly tone, get long. Notice that when your legs stabilize, you get more length in your torso. Good. And then release the arms. Okay. This time we'll do extended mountain. So rise our arms out to the sides, up to the sky, squat down into chair, holding 5 breaths. Work your chair pose, cultivating your alignment for strength. Finding your drishti, your focus. Making micro movements. Little adjustments are also key to this sort of functional movement, to coordination. One more breath, and then let's rise up, go right into tree, left side. Drawing that right hip in, because it wants to pop out, right? So draw that in. Whoops. Draw it in, left foot to right, get long. Find your drishti. Find that breath. And then release. Arms by your sides. Inhale, extended mountain, and go right into your chair. 5 breaths again. Nice work. Rise up into our tree posture. Release. Inhale. Squat down. And rise up, tree. And release. Okay, now with breath. Inhale. Exhale, Utkatasana. Inhale, Vrikshasana. Exhale, Tadasana. Inhale, Utthita Hastasana. Exhale, Utkatasana. Inhale, Vrikshasana. Inhale, Tadasana. I stayed on the same side. Now I'm going to switch. So inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. One more time each side. Inhale, exhale, squat. Inhale, rise up tree. Exhale, mountain pose. Inhale, extended mountain. Exhale, chair. Inhale, rise up tree. Exhale, Tadasana. Was that 2 on that side? Sorry, you can't answer me. All right, hope so. Sometimes I lose track as I cue. All right, so now you get the idea. So now we're going to move into our, bigger movements, our standing postures. So come to that short side of your mat, Tadasana. So remember, 2 times slow, and then we'll do it with breath. So find your Tadasana, connecting feet to the earth. Remember the stance of the toes, the connection of the toes to the earth really help to provide that foundation. So here, this time, when we do our extended mountain, or Tadasana, let's sweep our arms out to the sides, that sun breath, arms overhead in prayer, like almost sword hands, and look up at your hands. Get an extension with your neck. And then your hands could go through a swan dive, or they can go through the midline of the body. I'm going through midline today. I'm going right into my forward fold, my Uttanasana. Rise up halfway into our Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, go into our Uttanasana, and then walk or step or hop back into your plank posture. So find your plank. This is really where our sequence is beginning. That was just our movement. Okay, so hold this for a few breaths, and you can even bring your legs together. And I just thought I'll take us through this drill that we did on Thursday, which I thought was really helpful. Engage your core, ground your hands, even if your knees are down. Just shift your weight slightly to the right. And notice the core strength that takes to sort of stabilize you here. And then come back to center. And then squeeze the midline again, but shift your weight over, your hips slightly over to the left. So you're a little off kilter, but your core and your, what other muscles? I don't know, for you. Arm muscles, leg muscles, what's kicking in to stabilize the body and keep it from falling all the way over to the left. And then come back to center, press back to dog pose. For 5 breaths here, let's explore that same concept. Just shift your hips over to the right a little bit and feel what muscles have to fire to keep you from falling over. Just cultivating a little more strength to support ourselves in functional movement, in balance, in transitions, which we might call, if we're taking a little spill, it's a transition, right? Come back to center. Again, squeeze and hug the midline, engage the belly, shift the hips and the weight over to the left a little. Good. Engaging, keep lifting your hips. Come back up to center. And then we want to come into our warrior 1 posture. So you might want to lower your knees to get there, or you may just feel fine to lift your leg to the sky and float your foot forward. You can do this warrior 1 with your knee down, or you could send your both arms up to the sky. So up to you. You can be here if you prefer. This is totally fine. And if you are here and you need a little extra cushion for the knee, do that. Sorry, I didn't tell you to get a blanket, but hopefully you have one by now. You're bringing all your gear to class each time. Good, and square your hips, tone your belly, relax your shoulders. So this Virabhadrasana 1, which with the back heel is lifted, this is the way, this is Kripau's Vira 1. Other systems of yoga call it Crescent Lunge. It's very challenging to the balance. You have to square the legs, square the hips, activate the legs, tone the belly, relax the shoulders. Now, lower your right hand onto your hip, and then lower your left arm forward and send it over to the right. So you're taking a twist here. And breathe. Again, make micro adjustments. That's part of developing our strength. There's slight transitions, every little micro movement you make. So we're practicing that functional movement. 1 more breath. Then we're gonna go into prayer twist. So you can do your prayer twist here. You can stay high, or if you want, you could just bend that elbow and hinge down and go right into that sort of prayer balancing. And as you're here, you're using the leverage of the press of the hand, whether the press is here or up here, to get more twist from your belly. You're keeping the hips square. In fact, you may even have to draw the right hip back. The back leg is still staying active. We're maybe getting some space between the belly and thigh, especially those of you who took the hinge forward. And everybody, keep lengthening your torso. Find the rotation from your belly. Send the breath to upper lungs. Okay, so probably about 5 breaths. We're going to de-rotate here. Come back to our warrior one pose. Okay, get stable for a minute because this is the biggest transition. We're going to bring the weight to the right leg and go right into eagle. You're like, oh no. I know, don't panic. It's okay. So then pick that left leg up, bring it up and over. You could reach for a wall, bring hands on hips, or just quickly bring your arms to Tadasana. Send the left arm under the right and find your Garudasana arms. So here's the trick so you know. The top leg is the same as the bottom arm. So think about that left side now is on top for the legs and under for the arms. So in theory, if you bent down, those two can touch. So that's how you can, hopefully that makes sense to you, so you can remember which side is which arm and leg. And as long as you switch, it doesn't make a difference. And then let's release back to Tadasana. Okay, so that's that flow. Let's try that again. Inhale, arms out to the sides, up to the sky, sword hands, look up at your thumbs. Keep your belly tone, get long. Exhale, swan dive or hands through prayer. Inhale, half lift, Uttanasana, or Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, back into your fold, Uttanasana, step, walk, or hop back into plank. This is our last long version, so let's take advantage of it and keep our legs together, tone our bellies, shift your weight slightly to the right, practicing that center strength. That strength to the midline, the core. Back to center, and then slightly over to the left. Back to center, press back dog pose. Find your dog, settle in. You have grounding hands, lifting hips to skies, knees as soft as necessary. Hug your midline, shift your weight slightly to the right. Bring the weight back to center, shift the weight slightly to the left. So I'm just dropping my heels to one side. I'm not, rolling over to the sides of the feet like we do sometimes. It's just a shifting of weight to give a little extra challenge to our balance. And then come back to center. Okay, so now the left foot's coming forward, however you get it there. Knee can be down or lifted. So knee down or full on warrior one, or back, leg lifted. Knee down warrior one or regular warrior one. Nice. 5 breaths here, finding your alignment. What's that look like for you today? Always different. It's fluid, always changing. Now left hand comes onto the hip, right arm goes forward and goes to the right. Strong back leg, active right arm. Find the rotation from the belly. Find your drishti. And now we're going to take that twist, or the prayer twist. So you might bring your hands to prayer and keep it up high. I'm going to switch sides so that you can see me. Oops. Keep it high. Or you may have taken that, bent your elbow and hinged forward, bringing that hook to the outside of your left leg. Good. And then maybe hands together. Strong legs. Little space between belly and thigh. Long torso. Smooth, easy breath. Good. And now let's de-rotate back to our warrior one. Good. And then when you're ready, start to put your weight to your left leg, Pick up the right leg, bring it over the left. Hands on hips, prayer, or right elbow under left for full eagle arms. Yes. And then unwind, Tadasana. All right. Actually, so one more long version, each side. I forgot there's 2 sides here. All right, so 5 breaths in each pose. So then the next round will go move with breath. So inhale, looking up. Exhale, hinging forward. Inhale, rise up halfway. Exhale, fold, step back, or hop back, plank pose. You can do your weight shifting if that's of interest to you, or just kind of muddle through, right? Sometimes we're muddling. Press back to dog pose. Stay here for 3 more breaths or shift your weight. Right leg forward when you're ready. Knee down or high, warrior 1. Right hand onto the hip, left arm forward and twist to the right. Prayer twist, either bringing your hands and keeping them at heart center with your torso upright or hinge forward. De-rotate, warrior 1. Prepare for eagle, shift weight to right leg, left leg over right, hands at heart, hips, or right arm under left. Release, Tadasana. Okay, one more time. Inhale, look up, get long. Exhale, hinge forward, Uttanasana. Half lift, fold, Uttanasana. Step or walk back, plank pose. Press back, dog pose. Left leg goes forward, warrior 1, with knee down or not. Left hand on hip, right arm forward, and twist to the left. Prayer twist, stay upright, or hook the right elbow to the outside of the left knee. De-rotate, Vera 1, last time. Shift weight to left foot, right leg over left, hand position, heart, hips, or right arm under left for full eagle. Rise up, Tadasana, release your arms by your sides. All right, here we go. 4 times, so that means 2 each side. We'll try with breath. So that means inhale, exhale to the next movement. All right, so let's go for it. Inhale, look up. Exhale, hinge forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold and step back. Inhale, pause here. Exhale, press back, dog pose. Inhale, right foot forward and rise up or lower your knee. Exhale, lower your right arm to your hip, left arm forward and twist. Good. Inhale here. Exhale, prayer twist. Inhale, derotate, rise up, warrior one. Exhale, right into your eagle. Take one full breath cycle here. Inhale. And then exhale, come on to standing. Inhale, rise up, look up. Exhale, hinge forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale and fold. Step back, plank pose. Inhale here. Exhale, press back, dog pose. Inhale, step forward, lift arms, Vira one. Exhale, pause. Inhale, and then exhale, that was a full breath, twist to your left. Inhale, exhale, and hinge forward into your prayer balancing. Inhale, rise up, Vira one. Exhale, step forward, eagle pose. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, Tadasana. Here we go. Inhale, arms out to the sides, look up. Exhale, hinge forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Step back, step or hop back your plank pose. Press back, dog pose. Inhale, step forward, rise up, warrior one. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale here, exhale, hinge forward, prayer twist. Inhale, rise up, warrior one. Exhale, into your eagle, hold one breath. Inhale, rise up, Tadasana. Exhale, release. Inhale, arms out to the sides, look up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold, hop back, plank. Inhale, pause. Exhale, dog pose. Inhale, step forward, rise up. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale here. Exhale, hinge into your prayer twist. Inhale, rise up into your warrior one. Exhale, step forward into your eagle. Full breath cycle here. Inhale, rise up, Tadasana. Exhale completely. One more time. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold, jump back. Inhale here. Exhale, press back, dog pose. Inhale, step forward, right foot. Rise up, warrior one. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, exhale, prayer twist. Inhale, derotate, warrior one. Exhale, eagle, one full breath cycle. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, rise up, Tadasana. Exhale completely. Last round. Inhale, arms out to the side, lengthen, look up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold, hop back. Inhale, pause. Exhale, press back, down dog. Inhale, step forward, left foot, knee down or rise up. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale here, exhale, hinge forward, your prayer twist. Inhale, derotate, warrior one. Exhale, step forward into your eagle pose, right leg on top. Full breath cycle here. And then rise up, Tadasana. And notice how you're feeling now. Good job, everybody. All right. So then my plan is for us to come onto the earth. I just want to do a little time check. Yeah, I think we're doing good. Let's come on to the earth for our core that we're going to take into our crow pose. We did that on Thursday. I thought it merited some further exploration. So just come, just maybe come into constructive rest for a moment. So that's an example of how not only do we challenge our strength and balance, practice our coordination and agility in our yoga pose practice, but it becomes a little cardiovascular. Like, I don't know about you, but my breath gets elevated when I move with breath. So that's how we can make our yoga practice more cardiovascular. So, good job. So now let's work our core a little bit. That will lead to our next pose. Not as much of a flow, just exploring crow pose and what it takes to do crow. As I always say, it's a lot of core, more than the wrist or the knee elbow pressure that you might feel, or even the hips. It's so much in the core. So I like this abdominal exercise as a way to, find that and teach our body kind of kinesthetically, like that. Just learning it in your body will help you to then find it when we're kind of upright and balancing and worrying about the balance aspect of it. So bring your legs. Oh yeah, I forgot. We got into it from Malasana last time. Anyway, so here we are in sort of like a happy baby. Yeah, find your happy baby. So your feet are up to the sky, your knees are bent. And so that's the posture. And then you're going to bring your hands behind your head. Or no, sorry, I'm sorry. Bring your arms into like Devyasana arms, then bring them forward. And then turn your palms up to the sky. So it's like your palms and the soles of your feet are pressing on the sky. And then you can even press your elbows against the upper thighs or just below the knee, just above the knee. And feel that as you lift your chest, it takes some core strength. So lift your chest or your whole upper body. Keep your neck in line with your torso and feel the core kick in. Right? And that's what we're going to do. We're going to do this like a crunch so that you can lower down and even let the elbows draw away from the legs. And then peel up, press the elbows against the legs, using that as a little leverage to lift your chest a little higher and work your belly. And then lower down. 6 more times. Rise up. Now hold it when we're in this contraction and breathe, because that's what's going to happen when you're in your crow pose. You're going to need to breathe. And then lower down. So it's not like we're just holding it and we're static. Again, it becomes functional. We're holding it. There's muscular contraction. There's balance. There's the force of gravity, but we have to still breathe. And then lower down. And again, rise up. Contract. Maybe lift the chest a little more so that you can work the contraction more, but you're still breathing. And then lower down. 2 more times. Rise up. Keep the flexion in the wrists and the feet too, because that's what's going to happen when we're in the posture. And then this next time, rise up, stay in the pose, but extend your right leg out in front. Oh yeah. So we're adding a little extra challenge, and this is like a single leg crow. And then you can bring it back up. You can lower your head and shoulders if you want. Rise back up, extend your left leg. So again, it's good to learn these postures. Lower down, and one more time each side. Peel up, extend your right leg if you want. You don't even have to. We're still working the belly, but we're just learning how to stay in balance with one of our extremities out to the side. We're learning what it takes to do that left side, if you choose, or just do it straight up, or take a break, up to you, and then come back. Okay, lower your head and shoulders, bring your legs in, give them a squeeze, and then I'm going to invite you to either roll up like a ball a few times and come into your squat, or roll over onto your side. So you can, just kind of get some rocking and rolling happening, which takes a lot of core strength to do that. It's a good massage for the back body, but if you have any spinal issues, this might not feel good. So honor your body. And so then maybe you're going to just roll to the side and then come up. Doesn't matter. Whatever feels good for you. Some people like that rolling. And here we are. Bakasana. Yes. Okay. So we're kind of like in a malasana squat. Maybe your feet are together or they're a little apart. And then place your hands on the earth. Find a nice connection with the hands like we do in dog pose. And then bend the elbows and press the elbows into the knees. You can even let the knees come on to the back, the triceps, the backs of the arms. But I usually, especially if you're beginning in this pose, I like to remind people to use elbows to knees pressure, because then I think it gets us to fire up our core just like we did as we were on our backs. And then start to shift forward with your weight. I'm actually going to go, you can go sideways so that you bend your elbows, feel that leverage of elbows and knees, but fire up your core. Start firing up your core and just start to tip forward and feel that you're putting weight in your hands. And then lift your hips. So we don't want to go down into this posture. We're taking flight. We're like a bird. We're like a crow. We're taking flight with the hips. We're looking forward and up or out with our gaze rather than down. Because looking down at your feet, that's a sure way to land on your head, right? So keep looking forward. Look where you want to go. You want to soar. We want to soar. And then maybe try to lift one leg. One foot, one toe. Let's try to lift one toe. And then if you feel okay, again, feel that core engagement. Maybe lift both feet up towards your buttocks and hold 5 breaths. And then slowly make your way down. You can try that a couple of times if you're having fun with that, or try it again, maybe. Yeah, let's see, how's that going? Again, grounding hands, looking forward, lifting the hips. Nice. And then gently, slowly land. Come onto your hips. Maybe, I know sometimes people feel the wrist when they're kind of new with it. So if this is a new pose to you, or you're just feeling the strength and confidence to try it, but you feel some tension in your wrist, like shake it out, do some rotations, literally do some shaking. Maybe even bring your hands into the opposite direction. So if we were in flexion with our wrist, we'll go extension, so fingers down. And then when you're ready, we're going to go on to our back. Nice job. So come onto your back for a moment. Breathe all that in. And just noticing how it felt. So I know balance can be challenging, and really part of the reason it's challenging is when we wobble or if we fall, what really gets hurt generally isn't our body, it's our ego, right? We're just so kind of humiliated. I don't know why, but we are. And even more so when we're, say, in a group class, or we should maybe fall out in public or something. So let's try to, separate ourselves from that, just, it happens to everybody. So we just kind of get back up and do it again. And so in yoga, we can cultivate that kind of humility to just dust ourselves off and get back up and Try again. And also, of course, build some strength and coordination so that and quick reflexes so that we can prevent a fall. We can catch ourselves before we take a fall. So let's cross the right, or either one. I actually picked up my left ankle over my right knee. Come into a figure four. Compress that left thigh away. Feel a nice outer hip stretch. Allowing the breath to slow. You can stay here if this is enough for you, just making sure you've got a nice dorsiflexion to the ankle and the knee so that those joints are locked and we feel as just a stretch in the left outer hip. If you want to deepen that outer hip stretch, then bring the right leg in and interlace your hands around your right hamstring or your shin. And of course, if you're on the other leg, that's fine too. And breathe. And keep resisting that. If you are pulling your right leg in, keep resisting with the left leg. So keep that resistance so that you're feeling a nice deep stretch. Got some integrity there. Take one more breath. And then wherever you ended up, see if you can keep the shape with your legs, but release your arms out like a T. Give a little tone to the belly, and then let's let the legs roll over to that one side, the side of the bent leg, not the figure four leg, sorry, the other leg. So I'm going to the right. And then come back to center, and then over to that side again. So the opposite side of your figure four leg. One more time, roll over, and maybe you can come all the way onto the side so that that figure four foot comes onto the earth, that knee's up to the sky. So we're getting a deep stretch on that leg, that side. I'm on my left side again, the side of the figure four leg. Still feeling an outer hip stretch and getting a gentle rotation with the torso. If you feel a little out of alignment, you might have to roll back up and bring your hips slightly over in the direction of the figure four leg. So I'm going more to the left. And that way when I come into my twist, my spine's more aligned. That may have to happen. And then you can settle here for a couple of breaths, looking over your opposite shoulder. Keeping the shoulder blades down if possible. Feeling this nice rotation or wringing out of the belly after the core work. Rotation on your neck. Settling of the mind. Nice work. And then slowly we'll bring our gaze, our head back to center, the knees back to center, the hips back to center, and then uncross. Take a full clearing breath and then go to the other side. So opposite ankle crosses over that knee. So I'm bringing right ankle over left knee now, flexing my foot, pressing my figure four leg, that thigh away, so I can see where I'm at with this outer hip stretch. See where I'm at with my groin, my knees, all of it. Staying here if you're happy, or drawing the foot that's still on the floor, drawing that leg in and drawing my left. Maybe hands around hamstring or around shin. Resist that drawing in with your bent figure four leg. One more breath here. And then lower your foot down. Keep your figure four shape. Bring your arms out like a T. We're going to twist. Whichever direction you're twisting in, shift your hips over to the opposite side about 2 inches. Then lift your legs again, in your figure four shape. Twist, let those legs drop over to that side so the figure four foot could touch the earth, and bring it back up. Twist a couple of times like that, using your core strength and easing into this variation of knee down twist. The next time you go there, just settle in. If it's too much of a twist, then make adjustments. That's okay. You don't have to keep your legs in figure four. But if you like it, if it's a nice variation of twist, then even if you have to put the bent foot on a block, keep that knee up towards the sky so that there's space in the hip. Stretch on that opposite side and look in that direction as well so you get rotation in your neck. And breathe. Then yogis, when you're ready, bring your gaze back to center, your legs back to center, your hips back to center. Uncross your legs. A moment here. And check in. Maybe you want to give your legs one more squeeze. Maybe they'll both come in. Keep it a little symmetrical. Both legs pulling in. You can give a massage to the low back. You can peel your head towards your knees towards your head. And then slowly releasing one leg, then the other leg. Letting your feet drop out to the sides. Ground each half of your pelvis. Draw shoulder blades together, even if you have to lift your chest a little. And let your arms rest by your sides in a low V, palms up to the sky. Take a big inhale here and exhale it out with a sigh. Let's try that again. Make it audible. Part your jaw. Maybe give it a wiggle. Notice if there's any tension. Sometimes in balance pose, because we're trying so hard not to fall, we have a lot of tension, a lot of holding. So notice that if there's tension. Give it a massage even. Wiggle your jaw. Yawn it out again. Release the tongue from the roof of your mouth. Inhale and exhale. And notice if there's any tension on your face, anywhere else, your brow, around your ears, your skull, your eyes. Take another breath and notice your breath. If there's any holding there, restricted breath, see if you can soften that. Noticing your body, if there's any residual tightness anywhere. See if you can send breath there and let that go too. Surrender your body to the support of the earth. The earth has your back. It's here to support you. Now just let everything go, including your breath. And float here in this space of pure being, of pure bliss.
Don't worry. Worrying doesn't help. Our worries haven't prevented one disaster along the way. At times, the only thing they've prevented is our joy. Our worries are fear. We say, I will worry and be fearful until things have worked out. Then I can relax and enjoy. Our worries are self-punishment, a form of not forgiving ourselves, not loving ourselves, not trusting. We may think that worrying helps ward off trouble, but that's an illusion. Sometimes worrying brings troubles upon us because we're so caught up in our fear that we don't take the responsible steps we need to take. By neglecting our lives due to worry and fear, we may bring needless consequences upon ourselves. The lesson is trust. When we're trusting, we let go of our fear, confident that what we want and need will come. We trust that if what comes appears to be trouble or hardship, we will get what we need to get through that too. When we trust, we get peaceful first before we get what we want, before we see what the future brings. Worry and fear are the opposite of love. Love yourself more than you ever have. Love yourself enough to stop worrying. Love yourself enough to give yourself the gift of peace. So allow your breath to deepen. Gently rock your head from side to side. Bring movements to fingers and toes. Maybe draw the legs in for another squeeze. Roll over onto your right side for just a breath or so. And in your own time, use right elbow and your left hand, your upper hand, to help you come back up to a comfortable seat. Connecting with earth, lengthening through torso. Draw hands together at heart center, dropping your head into your hands and your heart. We'll lift our gaze to seal our practice by joining our voices in one Om. The divine light in me honors the divine light in you. Namaste.